Oh, Aurora, darling, I'm really sorry about what happened the other day. It totally slipped my mind to include you in the reservation. My bad.
I know, right? Once again, you conveniently forgot to include me. It's becoming quite the recurring theme, isn't it?
Exactly. It's true. We used to go on vacations with just the three of us. I must have completely forgotten that you were supposed to come along this time. Silly me. I suppose my old age is catching up with me, huh? Can't believe I let something like that slip my mind. Guess I need to start relying on some reminders or sticky notes from now on.
Well, you were the one who invited me in the first place. It's just hard to believe that you would forget to include your son's fiancée. Are you sure you're not doing this to me intentionally? It's starting to feel that way, you know.
Oh, come on now. Do you really think I'm that petty? I would never intentionally do something like that to you. Can't believe you'd think so lowly of your dear old mother-in-law.
I haven't forgotten about it, you know. You made it pretty clear with your words. I distinctly remember you saying, a family vacation is only for real family. That's exactly what you said. So, in a way, you were indirectly telling me to go home without directly saying it. Just being honest here.
Oh, really now? Pray tell, when did I ever utter such profound words?
You always pull this act, acting like you conveniently don't remember. Honestly, I've reached my limit with it. It's starting to get really old, you know? Don't you ever get tired of playing these games?
Oh, my Aurora darling. There's really no need to get all worked up about it. We all make silly mistakes from time to time, don't we? Let's just laugh it off and move on, shall we? No harm done.
But this keeps happening, Zoe. It feels like you're intentionally doing this to me. Remember when you even went as far as canceling my reservations in the past? Like at hotels and restaurants? It's hard to forget those instances, Zoe.
Are you absolutely sure about that? Because honestly, I can't seem to recall any of those things happening. No matter how hard I try, it's like they've been erased from my memory or something. Weird, right?
Are you kidding me?
Perhaps I'm finally starting to go senile. It's a possibility. Oh, Aurora, I'm truly sorry if I caused any inconvenience. It was never my intention, and I apologize for any trouble it may have caused you.
That might be the case here. I've been engaged to your son for a year, and yet you still forget. I guess you really are becoming forgetful.
Maybe, just maybe, the reason you're not making any impact on our lives is because you've got the presence of a wet blanket. Ha! It's a shame you can't level up your looks and actually make yourself memorable. If only you had some unique features and a drop-dead gorgeous appearance. Then, even someone as absent-minded as me wouldn't be able to erase you from their memory. But oh, Aurora, my dear, you're blessed with a nose as flat as a pancake, and eyes so tiny and squinty, it's a wonder you can see anything at all.
Oh, really? But Andrew says I look cute just the way I am.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Don't worry. I won't say any more about things that happened in the past. But being forgotten a number of times would make anyone feel hurt. Even me. It's already been an entire year since Andrew and I got engaged. And just a reminder, our actual wedding is in just a few months. So yeah, it would be great if you could lay off the petty little comments and the whole forgetful act before then. Capice?
How many times do I have to remind you, Aurora, that I really am just an absent-minded old woman now? So if you'd lay off with your misconceptions, that I would be so ever grateful.
I see. I understand that you swear by your forgetfulness, so talking any more about it now would be like talking to a brick wall. Hey, darling, sorry to disturb you while you're still at work. Have you got a moment? There's something I want to talk about.
Hey, honey. What's up? Hey, don't stress it. I happen to be on my lunch break right now, so shoot away.
You remember the trip we went on recently? Well, your mom messaged me about it, and yeah, it wasn't great.
Oh, yeah. Did Mom apologize in the end?
Let's just say that we had some words.
I'm really sorry about what happened on the trip. We got lucky in the end with the hotel having a spare room in such a busy season and all. I really can't say sorry enough. It definitely left a sour taste on my mouth. That's for sure.
Well, I wouldn't say she apologized. It was more like her coming up with excuses.
Oh boy. What has she done now?
She really got on the defensive when I said that it didn't feel good being forgotten about. Well, she did say sorry once, but I can't say it was a heartfelt apology. No matter how you look at it, she was definitely doing it on purpose.
You think so too? I thought it was strange that she would just forget about you like that. That's definitely not the first time this has happened either. Hey, I tried my best too. I even went as far to remind my parents to include you in the booking.
Oh, by the way, Andrew, I haven't told you yet, but there's a lot more to it. I think your mom really has it in for me.
Oh no. What now?
Her only form of harassment isn't just forgetting to include me in reservations. Every time we visited your parents' place, it was no better. She would purposely not offer me tea or coffee, not even cutlery. And anytime I requested something, she would conveniently forget only mine. It really happened a lot.
What the heck? I can't believe her. This is the first time I've heard of this.
Please, Andrew, don't stress it. I purposely tried to keep the peace by not bringing it up. But of course, Zoe went out of the way to say stuff like, "Oh, sorry, Aurora. I completely forgot about you." Or, "Oh my, I still can't get used to having a girl around." Absolutely unbelievable. Like we've been dating for so long, and we've been engaged for a year now.
I really owe you an apology, Aurora. It really blows my mind to think that the woman I used to respect has turned out like this. I should have known this sooner. I hope you can forgive me, honey.
It's okay, Andrew. Please don't apologize. I'm also to blame. To think I could just put up with it forever without saying anything.
Aurora, I don't know what to say.
But now I'm at the breaking point, and I don't know what else to do. I thought Zoe and I had turned over a new leaf when she invited me on the last family trip. But I guess not. I'm still really hurt from what she did.
I'm speechless, to be real honest with you, honey. Mom won't even admit to her mistakes. Dad's half to blame for not saying anything either. To be honest, I'm embarrassed to call them my parents.
Oh yeah. And, while we're on the topic, our wedding is only 2 months away, right? You know, I don't really feel right having a ceremony with things the way they are now.
Hold up. You don't mean you plan on canceling our wedding after all the work we put into planning this thing, right? I hope you don't plan on throwing the towel in and being done with it.
I don't want it to get to that point. Believe me, that's why I want you to work something out with me.
Oh, thank God.
I was kind of hesitant to say this to you, but to be honest with you, I have a hunch. Something bad is going to happen. So, if you will, I'd love it if you could lend me a hand to figure this out.
Yeah, maybe you're right. You're the girl of the hour, and the spotlight should be on you. I can't have my girl's special day ruined now, can I? Let's rethink it together. Don't worry, I got your back.
Oh, really? You're the best.
Why don't we think it over this weekend? Hey, I'll even come up with a few strategies until then. See if I can come up with any ideas.
Thank you so much, Andrew. That really puts my mind to ease.
Me too. And likewise, thank you for talking to me honestly. And once again, I'm so sorry for the trouble my parents have caused up until now.
Hey, Zoe, are you ignoring me?
What do you want so early in the morning?
Well, where do I start? I got a call from the wedding hall first thing this morning. Care to explain? Because, according to them, you went ahead and canceled the booking for today.
I don't see any problem with that.
What are you talking about? That's a huge problem.
Today is the second Sunday of July. Don't you know what that means? It's the day that the three of us go mountain climbing. It's a family tradition. So naturally, I canceled any other plans that fall on the same weekend.
So, basically you're saying that it's more important than a wedding?
Of course, a wedding is just a nuisance. But I'm not going to let it ruin our family outing. I see no problems here.
Oh my god, Zoe. Are you being for real right now? This is your son's wedding we're talking about. It's kind of a big deal for the both of us. You understand that, right?
Oh, is that so, my dear? I don't ever recall my son ever saying he needed a girlfriend, let alone a wife.
What now?
As far back as I remember, it was just the three of us. My husband, my son, and myself. It has always been this way, and it's been perfect. There's no way my son has any use for a wife. His family is good enough.
Zoe, are you listening to yourself right now? You must be delusional if you don't even know who you're messaging right now.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'm starting to lose my marbles at this ripe old age. I barely even know up from down when I first wake up.
Come again?
Oh, goodness. I had a feeling my son might have had a girlfriend at one time. But it seems to keep escaping my mind. Oh, I know. Let's keep things simple and say my son never had any girlfriend to begin with. That settles all matters.
Are you being serious right now?
Canceling the wedding was clearly the right thing to do. Now, let me think. My son has been single for as long as I can remember. Maybe he'll find someone nice to marry someday. Whenever that time comes, maybe we can book that wedding hall again.
Oh, right. But we actually had the ceremony last month. Have you already forgotten such recent events? That's quite the forgetfulness.
What now, dear?
Oh, dearie me. It looks like the mother-in-law has made an awfully silly mistake. Ringing up the hall and causing confusion. Ah, Zoe, please do be careful not to let your forgetfulness cause any more harm now.
Wait a minute. Last month? What on earth you babbling on about? The wedding was supposed to be today, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you actually remembered my existence? Is your forgetfulness getting better already?
Oh boy.
I'm so happy, Zoe. Thank you. I thought you would never recall who I was at this rate. I'm so thrilled that you remember me.
Oh, none of that nonsense matters right now. Why on earth was my son's wedding moved forward an entire month without anyone telling me? Care to explain yourself?
But there's nothing to explain. I can't believe you forgot all about your son's important day. Remember, we moved the date forward to June.
You're not making any sense.
Oh, Zoe, you should look for your marbles. I think they're getting away.
How dare you speak your mother-in-law like that? Why haven't I heard a single word about this? I couldn't possibly forget something this important. My own son didn't even say anything?
Oh, silly me. I completely forgot to tell you. I'm awfully sorry for my blunder. It slipped my mind to share the new date with you.
Oh, I can't believe that for a second.
It really was just a silly mistake. I'll be careful next time. Maybe I'm starting to lose my marbles too.
Don't you get smart with me, girl. Do you think you could get away with this? You were doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Oh, I would never.
Admit it already, that you have some beef with me. You planned this all along to get revenge on me.
I think you're misunderstanding something, Zoe. I couldn't possibly do something so mean to my husband's parents.
If that's the case, then explain why you needed to move the ceremony forward a whole month. You shouldn't need to do such a stupid thing like that.
Well, to be honest, I took you and David into account when we made the change. Of course, the changes were made after talking it over with Andrew.
Is that so?
I know how much you care about your family traditions, so I confirmed it with him first. I asked him if it was really okay to have the ceremony in July. I asked him to make sure it didn't fall on any important family commitments. Then he told me it was too close to the day we go mountain climbing every year as a family. So, naturally, we made sure to avoid that at all costs.
All the more reason to tell the groom's parents straight away. How dare you keep secrets from us?
How many times do I need to tell you? I would never even think of doing something so underhanded. I guess I'm just as forgetful as you.
Oh, don't play games with me, you insolent little girl. Even if that were the case, anyone would notice that we weren't there on the day. Then you should have rung us as soon as you realized.
Well, hey, we were the main stars of the ceremony. So we didn't really see it as a big deal, not having you guys there.
Oh, you ill-mannered brat.
Well, it was you who said that I was getting in the way of your family trip. It's the same thing.
Absolutely absurd. How could you possibly say that the groom's parents don't need to be there? My son won't have any of this once he finds out what you've done.
You have no idea, Zoe. It was Andrew that said it was perfectly fine to not have the two of you attend the ceremony in the first place. If you have any problems, check it with him.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
100%. Andrew came up with the idea in the first place. He said he was sure it would be okay no matter what happens. He said you would be very understanding.
I don't believe you.
Well, if you don't believe me, why don't you ask your son? I just happened to make a silly mistake.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never been this offended in my life. Just because you couldn't take some teasing, you needn't get back at me in this manner.
Oh, you finally admit that you were toying with me?
Shut your mouth. If that's how you're going to play, you better watch your back. I'll never forget this. Don't come crawling back later to ask for forgiveness. You've already dug your own grave.
That's 100% okay, Mom. If we've dug the graves, consider the two of us dead and buried already. And that's how we'll have to think of you as well. You're dead to me.
Andrew?
From now on, you don't have to think of Aurora as family. But that means I don't want you prying into our lives anymore. As Aurora and I will be our own new family, there's no need for you to interact with strangers. Thanks for everything you've done for me up until now. But I can't respect someone who dares to harass my wife. So that's it. You could just forget that I ever existed. Because if you don't have a daughter-in-law, then you don't have a son either.
Andrew, dear, please don't say such things. Oh, is that really you, Andrew?
Yeah, it's me, Mom. I've been sitting next to Aurora the whole time, reading this entire conversation.
Oh my.
To be honest, Mom, I was really shocked to see the way you've been treating Aurora.
Wait, Andrew, you've got it all wrong. I won't deny that Aurora and I got off on the wrong foot. But is that really any reason for you to cut ties with your own parents?
It's worse than that, Mom. I don't know why you have something against Aurora, but I won't let you harass my wife like this. It's unforgivable.
No, Andrew, I will not allow this. You're our only child. What about our future? Do you not care what happens to your poor old parents?
To be honest, I don't care. Not anymore. You were the one that never gave Aurora a warm welcome. In my opinion, I think I'm being rather reasonable here.
I will never let you do such a thing, Andrew. You don't know the hardships we went through to raise and love you.
So what? Why are you making me look like the bad guy here? Okay, whatever. I don't have the time or energy to waste arguing with you. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I booked you an appointment at a good neurologist. I thought it would be best to get a checkup, as you always seem to be complaining about your forgetfulness.
Why would I need to do that?
After hearing from Aurora all the times you forgot about her, when it came to bookings and whatnot, I knew there had to be something wrong. It's odd for you to forget only her. And as your only son, I'm very concerned for your mental health.
No, it's not like that, dear.
It will save you trouble down the line, the sooner the better, to make sure you aren't going senile. They say it's best to discover the symptoms early on.
I don't need such a thing. I'm only in my 60s. And I am most definitely not going senile.
It's not good to deny these things, Mom. Once I move in with Aurora, I won't be coming home anymore.
What are you saying?
I'm saying there won't be anyone around to help if something does happen to you. You'll only have Dad. He's getting older too. That's why these checkups are important at your age.
Hold on. Did you say you don't plan on coming home ever again?
Hey, don't worry about it. I've already let Aunt Mandy know.
Mandy?
That's right. She knows all about it. She'll be over first thing tomorrow morning to help you get to the hospital. She was more than willing to help when I explained your situation.
How could you do such a thing? Anyone but her.
Apparently, there's a good neurologist near Aunt Mandy's house, so it all works out perfectly. They even have a nice retirement home too. So depending on how the checkup goes, you may be able to move in immediately.
Retirement home?
Now, I know the two of you haven't always gotten along, but please try not to cause her any trouble. You've done more than enough of that lately. I think it will do you a world of good having someone like her around to help. And it sounds like Aunt Mandy can't wait to spend some quality time with you. I'm glad I talked to her after the wedding. It's a weight off my shoulders.
Don't mess with me, boy. There's no way I'm going there.
You know what they say, Mom? Denial is the first sign, but admitting there's a problem is the first step to recovery.
I must sound like a broken record, but I don't need to go. There's no need to go when my mind is perfectly sound.
Better safe than sorry. And if the test comes back negative, then that means you're just a cruel person, attacking my wife for no valid reason. So let me find out the truth. Let me see if my mother really is just a horrible human being.
Oh, please, Andrew.
Don't worry, you're not alone. Why don't you take Dad along to get tested too? I'll see you both at the hospital tomorrow then. I hope you're prepared for the worst.
After Andrew's parents underwent a thorough neurological clinic checkup, it was confirmed that their mental health was in excellent condition, reassuring everyone that they were far from experiencing any signs of senility. Andrew found it difficult to believe, as it would imply that his mother's behavior was simply unwarranted and mean-spirited. He shared with the doctor how his partner, Zoe, intentionally excluded him from various plans and even attempted to cancel their wedding. Andrew confronted the doctor, seeking an explanation as to whether Zoe's actions were unfounded if she wasn't suffering from any cognitive decline. The expressions on the doctor's face, as well as Andrew's parents' faces, were quite telling. They turned bright red with embarrassment, caught red-handed by their own son. From that point forward, they ceased to bother both Andrew and himself, putting an end to their intrusive behavior once and for all.